Today's tutorial is how to thread the sewing machine. You can see we have some tools here that we will need to do this. We have a roll of thread, a bobbin case, and a pair of scissors. We also have our machine. This is how the machines are stored. We're going to need to unpack this and plug it in. First thing is to take the pedal from the pocket in the front, take the cover off and put the cover on the back of your chair. We need to unwind these cords so that we can plug that large fixture into the side of the machine. We need to carefully get the pedal down onto the floor. All the other cords should go behind the machine where they're out of the way, and you need to plug that socket into the wall and switch it on at the wall. The next step is that you need to come around to the dial at the side and turn your machine on. Once we've done that, we're ready to start threading. I get my thread and I unravel a small amount of it. I put the roll of thread onto the spool. First, we need to make sure that we get it through that keeper at the top and it comes down through the tension. After it's gone through here, it needs to come around that area there through the arm. Now you may need to wind the lever up to get it in the right position. The thread's going to come through that lever and then down through the thread keep. Now when you've got it threaded like this, it should spell an N for needle. That's how you know that you've threaded it correctly. Next stage is that you may need to snip the end of the thread so that it's nice and clean, so it's not fluffy. You can even put a little bit of spit onto the thread to make sure that it is nice and easy to thread through the eye of the needle. You can see I've made sure that that thread isn't twisted around the needle in any way. And lift the foot up, and there's a very, very small incision in the foot there, and we just need to thread that thread through there so that it's out of the way. Now that we've done the top thread, we're ready to do the bottom thread, so we can open that door, and then we need our bobbin and our bobbin case. You need to make sure the bobbin is heading in the right direction, so when you pull on that thread, the bobbin should turn in a clockwise direction. We then get our bobbin case, and we want it so that we can see this little niche in the side. We put the bobbin inside the bobbin case and pull the thread down through the niche. This gold piece here is the tension for the bobbin. So we need to get our thread across and then down to get it behind that gold tensioner. We flip our bobbin case up so that arm is pointing towards 12 o'clock, and then we get ready to slide it into the machine. You know if you've put it into the machine correctly because you should hear a click, like that. Now we need to get this bottom thread up through the top so that we can begin sewing. We gently hold on to that top thread and we need to turn using the hand wheel to get that thread down into the lower part of the machine. Once it is actually, you can see that thread down there, you want to gently pull it and it will lasso that bottom thread and bring it up to the top. Now that we have both of our threads coming out to the side there, we can close the trapdoor and we can check that the settings of our machine are ready for us to sew. The first thing we need to check here is our tension. The tension dial should always be so that the two red pieces match up to make a nice straight line. On our stitch selector, we want to make sure that this little green dot here is beside stitches 1 and 2, which is straight and zigzag. If we come down to the dials on the front here, you'll see that this one here is stitch width. Stitch width should be on 0 if we want to do straight stitching. This one here is our needle position. So if we move that, it changes where our needle's positioned. We want that to be in the middle, in the center. This is our buttonhole dial. That should be on 0 unless we're making buttonholes. This is the stitch length. That should be on 2.5. That's halfway in between 0 and 5. And then down the bottom here, we want to select green so that it does the straight and zigzag stitch. And you can see there's also a little picture there of a straight and zigzag. And so we want our knob to be facing the straight and zigzag. Our machine should be ready to start sewing, and all we need is to get some fabric now.